Okay, so Sistas was pretty lit tonight. Okay. So yeah, I was hoping, we got this kicked off real smooth, so today was episode 7, Boy Bye. Okay. So usually I start off with Andi. But tonight we're going to start off with old Karen. We're going to talk about Karen mostly in this particular episode because, yeah, Karen needs to be talked about right about now. Okay? So let's just jump on in there and, just start where we left off from episode 6. So, of course, Zach rode up on his bike. Y'all gonna leave Zach alone. I know that him and his bike. He like to exercise. Leave him alone. Okay? Rode up on Karen at home. And is it Aaron? Yeah. So Aaron and Karen was kissing, of course, and all that. That's where it left off. So, of course, Zach kind of was like, oh, it's that's so easy for you to move on and all that. So let me just get my little take. Okay. So it's a whole lot going on in this scene right here. Okay. We have 3 parties. Okay. Let's just break this down. We have Aaron, which is the guy that Karen met with the ex-wife that's a lunatic. And yeah, so we have Aaron. And we have Karen. And then we have Zach. Okay. So Zach has his issues, okay? We know Zach cheated. We know Zach cheated. Okay? We know Zach has to establish himself as a man, okay? But Karen, the problem I have with Karen now is that she does like to cut Zach down, because my thing is, when you got with Zach, he's no different than he was when you got with him. So is your point to cut him down and tell him what he's not and make him feel less than? And the more I think about it, she do certain people like that. And the more and more you just think around Karen, she don't confide in Sabrina and Danni like she talked to Andi, she do kind of talk bad about Danni. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Danni don't have her ways, but that's your friend though. I mean, she have her ways, but that's your friend though. So, okay. So, I have my own feelings when it comes to Aaron, because I feel like Aaron is controlling. But a lot of what Aaron said in this statement was absolutely true. Karen has this loose lip language to where she cut people down. That's not cool. It's not cool at all. And she really do it to Zach. And she actually do it to Danni too, but she really do it to Zach. And at this point, to me, with Karen, if you really truly say you're done, then why cut him down? It's like, if you're done, it's no point of even doing all the extra. It's like, why do you have to tell him he got this and he don't have a car and he don't do, what is that all about? So with Aaron, I get it. what he said is absolutely true. That's the one reason why I'm really liking the show, because it seems to me every episode they getting read one way or the other. Each it's so funny to me because it's like every episode somebody reading them and checking them on their behavior, and that I'm feeling. But in that same aspect, you know how I feel about Aaron. I think Aaron is controlling, and he is giving me a little domestic violence tease. I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch him, but he read her. He read her to the fullest, and I get where he coming from. But he has his issues too. So hey. So Karen goes in. Okay, she didn't said all this about Zach, because it's almost like she said all this, and I just couldn't understand why. I'm instead of saying why are you saying all this? It's like I couldn't understand why Karen was just she was really really shooting um um Zach down for I just couldn't understand why. What was the point? It was no point of it. So Karen goes in. She finally, everybody leaves, and Aaron just pretty much say, call me when you ready to talk to me like a human being. Don't talk down to me. Don't tell me to shut up, and don't do all that other extra stuff. So what he said was absolutely true. He didn't say anything that didn't need to be said. Okay, yeah. So okay, moving along. So she goes in the house, and her mother is there. And her mother is cool. I mean, she one of them, free spirit mothers. She's, her kids, her kid is older. She still kick it. And she, got a motorcycle, and she cool. But she pretty much trying to give her advice, and then she not trying to give her advice. She almost like she want her to see it for herself, but she's saying, you might need to leave him alone because you ain't ready for him. And she not ready for nobody like Aaron, because Aaron is way too controlling, and Karen is too loose lipped with her mouth. She feel like she can talk to people any kind of way, and you can't say whatever you want to the people. Anybody. You just can't do that. And expect people to respect you. I get it. I understand exactly what he was talking about. So, yeah, Karen, sis, even though I like you, but girl, you got some issues, girl. We're going to have to work on that. All right? Yeah. So she kind of, it's almost like Zach is already in his lower self. So it's like she just cutting him down as much as she can. So, of course, Zach go back to Danny's house, all upset, in his feelings, like, I don't understand why I went over there because I know how she is, and, just really confiding in Danny, and, of course, he gonna ask for some weed, whatever the case may be. And then he got high and end up telling Danny more stuff, that Zach has his own issues too now. Don't get it twisted. I have sympathy for him, but then I don't, because he still has to get himself together. A lot of the situations that he's going through is his own fault, so he don't get no pass either. But he, that whatever that truth weed that he be smoking, he just got loose lips, baby, because he just was like, Danny, is Karen really your friend? I mean, that ain't your friend. She talk about you all the time. She don't say no good things about you. And it's like, Danny was like, wait a minute. What she be saying? She kind of like, started thinking. But in that same aspect, Danny has to be responsible for her own actions on how she acts, when she's with them. But it's obvious she in her feelings. She is. And when he's telling her all this, I mean, he just really just broke it down. And it's like, They don't tell you nothing, and they don't like going nowhere with you because they know how you gonna act. And it's like she just really was starting to, see all of that. So that kind of made her feel a certain kind of way. So she's sitting there just thinking. So, right now we just gonna leave it there and say Danny's in her feelings right now. So we gonna scoot on over here to Andi. So Andi's at work late, avoiding what she needs to go address at home. Okay, she got Gary at home, and she knows she really, that's pretty much how I usually work out. You messing with the married man, you want him to leave his wife, he leave his wife, now you don't want to be at home because you don't want to deal with him right now. Okay, ma'am, here we go. So you have Gary at home, so you don't want to deal with him. What you doing? You're working late. So she's working late, and the cleaning lady, comes in, and she's cleaning up and stuff like that, and she, kind of, starts talking to the cleaning lady. She's like, everybody has a story and things like that, and she kind of like get into Andi's head to like, you are a young, beautiful woman that has a lot to offer, and she kind of like makes Danni remind herself who she is and like, why am I settling for somebody else's husband? I think that's what I have a feeling that's why Andi is like, what am I doing? She checking herself. So, who shows up? Gary. Lord, he listen, he out, first of all, I ain't like him anyway. Why? Because he just, I don't know. When he's speaking, he sounds so fake. You know what I'm saying? Now, ask yourself this. She's already told you that a private detective is following you and is looking at every move. Why would you show up at Andi's job? You're at her house. Eventually, she's going to show up. That ought to tell Andi he don't give a damn about your job, sis. He don't give a damn about your career. He's putting that on the line. He don't care. That's why I'm like, Andi, girl, you don't have to, So he shows up, and she's kind of like, why are you here? Are you kidding me? So that alone, she kind of like, I see you, I'm going out with my friends, I see you when I get home. And I think she just kind of like said it to blow him off. So she left. And then, of course, she heard vacuum cleaners, but the vacuum cleaners like in one spot, and all that. So it was weird. So she just, she was still just like on the phone. She called Karen to let her know, I'm on my way. Let me wrap up some stuff and all that. So we're going to shoot back over to Karen. So Karen is getting dressed and all that. While Pola, Sabrina just sitting at the table. Sabrina didn't sit at this table so long waiting on them. That's one thing I cannot stand, waiting on people. You done been there an hour and they ain't there yet. I would have left. I can't stand it. It just bothers me that they don't tell me to be somewhere at a certain time, and then an hour and a half later, here you come. Ugh, I know she was mad. I would have been mad too. But nevertheless, we're going to go back over here to Karen. So Karen's at home, and she gets dressed, and she walks out to leave. And who shows up? The wife. When you look at her, she looks so weird, man. It's something going on with the lady, man. It's something going on. I feel like something's going to happen. I don't know what it is. It's too much. This woman, something going to happen. She going to do something to herself. Something is going to happen. So, that bothers me. So Karen is like, man, why? She pretty much charged the lady up, say, move, but she's, I don't know. I don't really know how to take this lady, man. She giving me bad suicide tease, man. I just don't. I'm not feeling her. She giving me some really desperate tease here. I don't understand. But Karen, of course, called Aaron and told him what she should tell him. Your wife showed up at my job. Now she showed up at my house. Okay, that's an issue. Still blame, me, I still blame Aaron. He should have never did what he did from the beginning. We would not be sitting in this situation right now. Okay? Yeah. So, going back to Andi. Andi, here's the vacuum. So she goes to the office and the cleaning lady was kind of laid out. She was just laid out, and the vacuum was going, and she had to call, the paramedics, and of course the lady was rushed to the hospital and all that. So she had to call her son, which actually turned out to be her grandson, and his name is Paris. And Paris, okay, Andi, excuse me, Andi. Paris is kind of fine, girl. Okay, anyway, but so Granny, like, I'm good, you take her home or whatever. So Granny trying to hook Paris up with Andi, baby. Because whatever the case may be, Paris was kind of fine. But anyway, so Paris ended up taking Andi back to her office. But needless to say, they were having conversations and all of that. And they were having a nice little conversation in the car, but he didn't get to go into details on what's going on with him, which I feel like is something more. But nevertheless, we don't know what that is yet. But it seems to me that she's going to get out of the car to go in the building. And lo and behold, who's there? Gary. I'm telling you, he don't care nothing about Andy's career. He don't care. He ain't thinking about none of that. And that's when she's going to find out what Gary's wife mean when she says that Gary's abusive. I think Andy's getting ready to find out. That's what I think. Nevertheless, let's go on over here to the club where they are. So Karen finally shows up, and of course, no, let me back up. Danni showed up first, and she was like, she a little pressed now. She warm, she hot. So she was like, I need a drink. She's like, girl, you want me to, you got some with you? And, she basically, Sabrina basically saying, Danni, these drinks cost a lot of money. But you really can't, Danni can't get mad because that's how you act. If they're used to you acting like that, then you can't get upset. Those are the things that Zach is explaining to you. You act like that, but you think your friends are supporting you when they're really not feeling that. So she asked Sabrina, how does she really feel about her? Okay? And Sabrina, she gonna tell her that little generic, girl, you cool, you fun to hang around and all of that. And then she said, do you think I'm a freeloader? Girl, yeah, she think you're a freeloader. She told you a little heavy-handed when it comes to somebody else's pocket. Yes, you are. Girl, Daddy, you know what you are, girl. Don't be trying to act like you don't. But you got to take some of that responsibility because that's how you be acting around them. And they ain't really feeling it. Instead of them just, just sitting you down talking to you about it, they talking about you behind your back. And that's usually what females do. So, hey. So, she said, do they be talking about... No, she said, do them bitches be talking about me? Andi and Cameron, do they be talking about me? She talking about, no. She said, yes, they do, and I know they do. And basically, this guy walked up and tried to holler at Sabrina, and she was like, you need to buy me a drink instead of her. So, Danni doesn't understand. Now she understand. The problem is, again, called out. They getting called out on their behavior. All Zach did was tell you what Karen be saying. But again, Karen should have been sitting down talking to you. If that's her friend, if y'all friends. Okay. Now, so she kind of like got away from the table because she kind of pressed. Because, people don't like to be called on their shit. So Danni a little pressed. So she over there in the corner with some guy drinking, whatever. So Karen finally shows up. And, I forgot, when she was going back and forth with the Aaron's wife, when she was on the way, she was on the phone with Sabrina. And Sabrina was like, stay on the phone with me. You don't know what she finna do? She said, wait a minute, is she white? She's like, yeah. But anyway, so Sabrina kind of looked at Karen when she was like, girl, who was that? She was like, yeah, that was the guy that I met. That was his wife, his ex-wife. He was like, ex-wife? What? She's like, you don't need to know. And you could tell Sabrina looked at her like, bitch, what you mean? You can talk to Andi, but you can't talk to me. So I think we're getting ready to see some friendship clashing because it's obvious that Sabrina does talk to Karen and Andi and Danni, but when it comes to Andi and Karen, they don't really talk to Danni and Sabrina about their shit. They don't. And I think that's going to come to light. And I think Danni and Karen is going to have some words, baby. They going to have some words with each other. And it's going to go back and forth. So, we just going to have to see how that's going to pan out. But I'm telling you, I'm feeling this. I am really feeling the heat this week. Okay. I'm just saying I'm feeling it. But nevertheless, everybody getting called out on their shit. And that's just what it is. Everybody getting called to the carpet, baby, on their behavior. And that's just what it is. But again, what I say we're going to do, when all the episodes are over, we're going to just, bam, just each character, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about them and see what y'all think. But y'all, hey, give me some feedback. Let me know, what did you think? Boy Bye, episode 7, how was it?